Welcome JGTV friends. It's time for another 5-minute workout, and today we are doing a challenging footwork series. So a lot of people think footwork is a throwaway section of the workout. I really think you can get some great work in there right off the bat, and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm on the Balance Body Allegro 2 reformer, and I've got 3 heavy springs on. You're going to use whatever springs you normally use for footwork, knowing that they're not going to be the same as mine most likely. All right, my foot bar's up, my headrest is down, and I'm coming down onto the carriage, placing my heels hip distance apart on the bar. Let's just get used to the spring here. So I keep a lengthened spine, push the carriage out, and return. For today, we're gonna exhale on the way out and inhale to return. I like the exhale because it gives me a little bit more power as I'm pressing out. If you like a different breath pattern, use it. You don't have to use mine. Press out and come back in. Let's do a few more here. Press and return, push and return, and press and return. Now the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna bend my elbows so you can see, I'm gonna float my pelvis just off the carriage, trying not to tuck it under. I'm maintaining that kind of level pelvis here, so I really focus on that hip extension. And come in, press, and in and again. Hold the hips steady. You can even place your fingertips on the hip bones here and make sure that they're not tilting. You want to keep them as level as possible. Think of the sit bones going straight forward and then back. And you don't want to start rising up your hips here. You want to feel like you can slide a sheet of paper or just barely your hand between your seat and the carriage. And let's do 4 more. Can you feel the backside burning? And 3 more. Press out. And 2. And 1. Now you're gonna press out with your hips up. You're gonna lower the hips down and return the carriage. Lift the hips and press out. Lower the hips and return the carriage. Now when we lift the hips though, we're gonna lift them all the way up. Press out, they drop, right to the carriage and come in. Lift up, press out. Hinge at the hips to lower the hips down to the carriage and come back in. Lift up, press out. Fold at the hips to lower down and bend the knees to come in. Lift, give me an exhale out. Inhale, lower and return. Lift and press. Lower and return. One more time. Lift and press. Lower and return. Now we're gonna go into our high half toe position, same springs, heels lifted. I'm keeping my feet in line with my sit bones. My legs aren't all the way together. From there, just press out and in for 5, 4. Focus on pressing through the great toe and the second toe on the ball of the foot. 2 more, 1 more. Now we're gonna lift the hips and it's a totally different feeling here. So again, hover off the carriage, not up as high as we did the last exercise, just hovering like we did the first time, and press back. If you feel like you're gripping in your toes too much, you might need a little more resistance. We want to push into the bar. Push the ball of the foot into the bar. And return. Remember, you don't want your hips moving around. You want to keep them as stable as possible. Bum just floating. Give me 3 more. 3. And 2, but don't drop your hips yet. And 1, stay there. And give me a little running. 1 heel down, 1 heel lifts. Again, focus on the knee, hip, and ankle movement, not the pelvic movement. Keep the pelvic as stable as possible. Woo, burning, burning in the back of the legs. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Keep the breath fluid, and 1. Up. Bend the knees, lower the hips. I hope they're really feeling as burny as mine. Okay, take your heels all the way to the outside. One of my favorites. Float the hips off from here, press out, and come in. A really good glute blaster because your legs are in external rotation and you're extending the hip. Press out. Inhale to come in. Press through those heels and come back in for 5 and return, and 4 and press 3 and 2. Feels wonderful. And 1, come in and set the hips down. Now Just bring your heels back to parallel, hip distance apart, and give me a hip roll up. And back down. Let's do it again. Roll up. And down. Should feel really nice on that lower back. 2 more. Roll it up. And 1 more. Roll it up. Now come down, take 1 ankle, cross it over for a figure 4 stretch, and just breathe. If you need to bring the leg closer to you, grab it. Otherwise, foot against the foot bar. And then switch to the other side. Just cross it over. Ah, feels good in the hip, right? And breathe. And release. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick, challenging footwork, and I hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and join me again soon. Bye, everybody.